Hey, what's going on? This is Mike. I am in Madison, Wisconsin, and I'm watching several C26 athletes take the course on Sunday. It is now Friday night, and I thought I would give a kind of a last minute talk about what I think and what I see and what I saw today about the course and what's going on around here. First of all, Madison is just, I don't know, it's just one of my favorite places in the world. It has a lot to do probably with the fact that I love the Badgers and whatever, but it's just a beautiful campus and a great environment for this kind of thing. It's a bustling environment, and they throw Ironman right in the middle of it. The State Street area, downtown, Ironman is right downtown, and there's just so many cool things going on around the sport. And from what I see, the city and everyone I talk to just embraces it, and they think it's cool. I don't think they think it's super cool necessarily, but I think they think it's cool, and they are by and large very nice to everyone about the Ironman stuff. So that's a cool thing. First thing is I went down to the water today, and I really love that lake. It's beautiful. It was 60s, mid 60s or upper 60s today. It felt a little cold, and the cloud cover makes with the wind made that lake look a little daunting today. I gotta be honest. I was thinking about it. I mean, I'm standing up there watching people swim, and it was really pretty choppy, for a lake, I guess. And so I'm hoping the sun comes out because I've been thinking about this swim and really how to handle this swim and what based on a couple of times I've done it. First of all, I think I've started in the wrong place. I've started by the ski ramp, and you kind of have to sort of slide your way into the mix from the outside, and then by the time you get to the buoy, who knows how much further you've swam. Technically it's supposed to be about 30 more yards or something, but I don't know. Especially with the wave starts now, I think that the answer is to start on the inside and just go the shortest route, period. Because I just don't think it'll be congested. Because now I'm hearing that they're doing 5 waves of roughly 500 people. And how they're going to do it is they're going to start the first wave in the water at whatever time, 6:35 or something like that. 500 people, and then they're going to corral people on the shoreline, which means that after the gun for the first group, then they're going to have to shuttle 500 more people into the water, get them in place, and then fire another cannon or whatever they're going to do. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, and they're not even going to let anybody warm up. So how it used to be is you could go down in the water like 20 minutes or so early. And to me, that was the saving grace of everything. You get kind of warmed up, you acclimated to the water temperature, the environment, you kind of talk to some people, you calm down a little bit, and you float, and you're in a wetsuit, and it's pretty easy, but it's just enough to kind of get your blood going and get your brain wrapped around what's about to go down. And now they're not going to let anybody in the water except the wave that's going off. So the pros go, and then they're going to shuttle 500 more people into the water, and then they're going to go, and then they're going to shuttle 500 more people in the water. And initially they had it at 5 minutes. Now I'm hearing there might be a 10-minute spread. But I mean, if you think about this, the inside buoy is about, I don't know, 200 yards away from shore. So you're talking 200 yards. That's, for most swimmers, probably about 4 minutes. So by the time the people in the back of the wave even get in the water, they're not even going to have a shot at getting over to that buoy. So I'm very curious to see how this whole thing plays out. And I'm totally banking on 15-minute increments between, because 500 is just a lot, man. I don't know. Let's go. I've been in races with like 100 people in a wave, with like a 5 minute between waves, and I've seen people get caught out of the water just because they're, taking their time or lollygagging around, or they jump in the water and swim one way kind of to warm up a little bit, and the gun goes off and they're going the opposite way or whatever. It just seems kind of weird. I mean, it's just unfortunate to me that they're not going to let anybody warm up. I don't know. We've had a whole podcast on this, and I don't want to labor on it too hard, but what occurred to me, what I was thinking about regarding this swim, is that, it's almost 4,000 meters, and the first buoy is about 800 meters or something. So, the natural inclination is to, you always usually try to hold back, but normally you go out faster than you want to. So I just feel like this race, by the time you get around that first buoy, and the next buoy is maybe 200 or 300 meters away from that, and then you turn to come back on the long stretch. And I just think that the whole key to this swim is there's going to be contact. There's going to probably be a lot of contact. So you almost have to go into it expecting it and being willing to just roll with it. And I use the analogy today of sort of like a jiu-jitsu grappler or something like that, or some kind of if you're going to take a punch, you just roll, So don't waste your energy getting mad, because I've done that before, or try to strong arm, or turn their body and go over them or whatever. Just kind of roll with it and just keep settling back in your groove, and until you get on the other side of that rectangle. And when you see the buoys change about halfway, the color, that's the time in my mind when you start thinking about maybe how you feel, and if you feel pretty good and you think you're going to be able to take it home strong, then you start kind of maybe picking up just the intensity a little bit. But I just think that for the first half of this swim, you just kind of got to let yourself find this is for, unless you're just a bombastic swimmer that goes out hard and can handle it and whatever. But for most people, I just think it's all about settling in and trying to keep a good line and not going out of your comfort zone. And by the time you get halfway around, there's still a long way to go, and it seems like that third turn buoy never comes, because I think it's like 1,700 meters or something. So have your strength and hold it. I mean, and try and keep a good line, and save something for that when you turn the third buoy, then you got another 200, then you angle in, that's about 500 or something like that. So you still got about 700 or 800 after that third turn. So you're going to want to save it. And I think the same holds true basically for the bike. That first 20 miles is pretty fast. We went out and drove the course today, and one of the things I thought about was that, you get all this attention put on Barlow and Midtown Hill, but there's probably some hills out there that are at least comparable to those, and some certainly I think more imposing in a way than Midtown. And Barlow isn't, like I was saying, Barlow isn't for a cyclist, for really good cyclists, for a cycling course or whatever, isn't all that. I mean, it's not the hardest thing you're ever going to do, but on an Ironman course, it's certainly going to spike your watts, and it's certainly getting your heart rate going. So you just want to, it's a 3-section hill, and you're going to want to go up the first. It's about a mile in total when you get onto Barlow. You're going to go up 2 shelves that are not nearly as steep as the last part. So you're going to want to have that in the bag when you get there. But I just kept looking at these hills, and I always think about it. It's sort of the same thing, it's like in the water, not get mad if you're going to get the contact, kind of laugh it off. I mean, have that kind of frame of mind, because it's nothing personal, obviously, and I think it's better to kind of relax and laugh or something than get frustrated. And I feel the same thing about the hills, because you just keep turning corners and looking out and seeing more and more hills, and they're just going to keep coming. We just did a loop today and in the car, and it's just kind of, I kind of marvel at how relentless this course can be with the hills and the turns and things like that. So, you just have to be really patient. I think you got to, especially on that first 20 miles. And remember that first 20 miles is the last 20 miles too. So, um, keep that in mind. And there's like a hill coming back on that. I don't know. It's probably at about mile 12 or something like that. But going the other way, that's the one to me that is always the killer. It's on the stick. And I think typically the wind gets in your face on the way back in. So there's just a lot of that stuff out there. And I think you just got to be real patient and see how you feel. And, like I said, out to about the halfway mark of the swim, I think the same is about true on the bike course, because you want to get a kind of look at what you're dealing with before you just go hammer it all apart. Anyway, so I was out on the run course today too. I ran basically a loop, give or take some of the areas, and I think you still get to run up the bottom of State Street, and then you come back down, because I noticed there's a big crane or like construction vehicle that's sort of in the way there. So I don't think you go all the way up the bottom part. And I mean, you go all the way up the bottom part, but I don't think you come back that way all the way. I think you turn before you actually go to the bottom, and they kind of wheel you around in through a back street back to the Greenway, which takes you through campus, and then you kind of go through that long stretch it's kind of a dirt road, which is actually kind of nice because it's shaded back there too, and then you go out in that long out and back, which is probably one of the worst parts of the bike course or the run course. I'm just not a fan of those out and backs. But anyway, so there's just so much good energy up here. Everybody's really positive. We've got tons of C26 athletes ready to go. They're all going to be down in the water tomorrow at like 7. I'll catch up with them a little bit later than that. But I'm going to try and go get a workout in the water tomorrow and just swim around for a while and soak it in. I'm hoping the sun comes out, because it is a little chilly, but it's good racing weather for sure. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know what's going on up here in Madison. Maybe get another update tomorrow. I went to see the pro panel today. Starkey was up there cutting it up. They asked, this was an interesting thing I thought, is somebody asked about nutrition on the bike, and there's 5 pros up there, and they all agreed that they can't give a good answer on that. They basically just said it varies all the time, race with what you train with kind of thing, and there's just no I mean, they were talking about 300 to 400 calories an hour on the bike, and one of the guys says, yeah, that's kind of where I try to go, but some days I just feel like I need 500, and he never disagreed with any kind of like pre-formulated kind of thing. He said you just kind of have to adapt, and some days it works, some days you get sloshy, some days you got to eat more solids, and some days you got to drink more fluids, whatever. And then Starkey threw in a good line. He said, if you're worried about nutrition, seaweed. I've heard seaweed is about 5 calories per bite, so you can get it started while you're swimming. I don't know. I thought that was pretty good. But anyway, this is, I guess, just a little something to do, because I got nothing going on in this hotel room now. Although, I am a Badger fan, and they are staying in this hotel here tonight, so I don't know what that means, because they're all sleeping. But I met a couple of the guys. I think they were linebackers in the elevator, and they seemed more interested in me and the Ironman stuff than they were about the game tomorrow. Although he did say, I said, how you feeling about the game? And he said, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. And then he's like, are you excited about that Ironman? I said, well, I'm not racing, but yeah. He goes, oh, man, that's cool, man. He was all into it. And I said, what about this hotel? I mean, because it's kind of a nondescript hotel. It's it's pretty nice, but it's nothing fancy or anything. And I said, what about this hotel? Are you guys into this? And he goes, oh, man, he said the food is legit. But I just thought they were really cool because they were just seemed more interested in what was going on with Ironman than me getting all fanboy about the Badger football team, because it's like, here's my chance, right, to ask some questions. I had nothing, but I only had about 30 seconds probably, because we were on the third floor coming down to the lobby. But anyway, well, thanks for checking in. This is just a little extra podcast. I'm not even sure I'll give it a number, but we really appreciate everything you guys are doing. We're excited about everybody that's racing Worlds. We're up here in Wisconsin. We're in Chattanooga, and we're covering it. So get on the C26 train and join our closed group. Search Crushing Iron Group on Facebook, and you'll find us, and we'll let you in there, because that's where everybody's meeting, and we're meeting all these cool people. And now we've got, I don't know, I bet with families and everything, there's got to be at least 50 people running around race day, kind of either running and racing or just watching. So it's a cool vibe. All right. Hope you're having a great weekend. And let's keep Florida in our thoughts. I've been kind of watching that too, and that's a little rough. So anyway, I will catch you guys tomorrow with some more video. Subscribe to Crushing Iron on YouTube and check those out. Robbie and I have, and everyone else doing Louisville has about 37 days left. So we're working it. All right. See you later.